you can try to touch the sky. Maybe Nabab touched the sky already.
His power, he was a fighter. That's what I remember of him.
At that moment, everybody was speaking about beautiful horses, bloody horses, and things, and he didn't fit in that, but he was a really good jumper, and I loved him from the beginning, and like I loved him till the end. Yeah.
In my imagination, he was perfect.
I don't consider him as the legend as probably everyone else would consider him. I consider him as the big teddy bear in front of as the first one in the stable to have a hug with.
Belgium was the home of a very special breeding legend. The Kidam de Revel Architosan, Nabab de Rêve, was bred by Stefan de Bruyn in Belgium. What nobody knew at the time was that the stallion would become one of the most important sires in show jumper breeding. In 1990, Joris de Brabander brought Nabab de Rêve to his stables in St. Nicholas.
In that time, it was the beginning of frozen semen. So we were able to buy good frozen of semen from amazing stallions like Kidam de Rêve. And his mother was a very, very good mare. She was third as a 6-year-old in the Belgian Championships with Jan Vleugels. Afterwards, she went to Nelson Pessoa and she was injured during a show. She had a tendon problem or something like this. So this mare was the only mare pregnant that year, the first and the only which was pregnant from Kidam. She belonged to a friend of mine, so I followed the pregnancy. She was inseminated at our place, so I really was happy that this happened. So I was prepared for the birth of this amazing foal. And this breeder called me that Nabab was born, the later Nabab. So I went there 2 days after his birth. In my mind already, I bought that foal without seeing if he was beautiful or ugly. I know it was a stallion foal, so I went there and I bought him immediately. First half, later when he was 3, I bought him completely, but that's how he came on my way.
Nabab de Rêve would not only become more than proven sire of top show jumpers and foundation sires, such as Kashmir van Schuttershof, Caramba de Mus and Vigo d'Arcy, he also became part of a family.
The foal came home when he was 5 months, something like this. And we had at that time a very small arena, so I did some free jumping. First the poles on the ground, then 30 centimeters, and he sprung amazing. He jumped amazing. He like a perfect style, very classic, scopy. So I was very pleased about him. Later on, he was a little bit big. He grew up a little bit big. He was a little bit ugly, not always in the best shape. So I thought maybe yes, maybe no, but I loved him. And then as a 3-year-old, I showed him to the Stallion Commission. We went to the SBS, that's the French part of the Belgian stud books, because at that moment everybody was speaking about beautiful horses, bloody horses and things, and he didn't fit in that, but he was a really good jumper and he was approved. So then further on we started to cover mares, and I loved him from the beginning, and like I loved him till the end.
Yeah. In my imagination, he was perfect. Nabab was here when I was still a kid. I remember him as a really nice horse. As a kid, we could do everything with him. We could take him outside. He was so nice. Yeah, was like a human friend. Yeah, I think I was only, 7, 8 years old, and I'm sitting on him with shorts and t-shirt, and Crystal holds him. I just walk inside the building, but I still remember the picture. I still remember he was in stable 1, really at our kitchen. So He was the first horse we saw when we went out. Stable number 1 is always an important one. Yeah, it was for the special horses to be there.
I learned with him to take the semen. He was very easy, you know, he knew his job. Very easy to handle also here in the farm. You could put him in the field. He was very, and that's what you see. That's what you see in his legacy. Simple and honest, and doing your job, get the job done, get the course done, make no fault, try to make no fault, and lots of power. Very easy, simple, clear.
This exceptional interior, combined with good X-rays, brought Nabab de Rêve to the championships for the 4-year-olds. The stallion showed his quality by mastering all rounds with 0 faults and finishing second in the championship. Already with his first production, the stallion proved that he gives something amazing to his foals.
They were very good in the head, easy to handle. They hadn't fear from anything. You could put whatever you wanted. You could put big fences, you could put water under it, doubles, triples. Everything was okay for him.
We still have a lot of mares directly from him, or his grandsire. And there you can see the qualities or his influence still. And also in our stallions, what we see right now is that they're straightforward and they won't let you down. They're not distracted in a course. Like if you're going to a championship, it doesn't matter if it's an Olympics or a regional championship. If there is a new fence, first time ever, he won't be distracted. He's just like, I go straight for it. I will fight for you. I'll go for it. I'll take you with me. That's, I think, his biggest addition, for sure.
They are really cool and they want to do it for their rider. I rode the juniors and the young rider classes with a Nabab Offspring stallion, and he really went through a fire for me. He would do everything for me.
That he also would add 2 mares, and I think that it was something also most of the breeders were looking for, and thanks to that, people started to acknowledge all his advantages.
These qualities also make him a star on the parcours himself. Through a mutual friend, contact was made with Philippe de Jus. He took over riding the stallion and the pair made sporting history together. Victory in the Nations Cup in Aachen, culminating in the bronze team medal at the World Equestrian Games in Jerez de la Frontera, and qualifying for the Olympics. Although he didn't go there, Nabab de Rêve has had an amazing sport career.
He was especially on his best on these big championships. When all the others got afraid of the height of the fences or the special colors or things like this, he was there. It didn't disturb him. And in his production you see the same. The strength of these Nababs, they are really there at the big championships, the Europeans, the Olympics. We saw a lot of his horses compete at those levels. Maybe they were not the fastest, maybe they didn't want so much, but on the great events they were there.
Nabab de Rêve becomes a sought-after stallion, and the breeding business in St. Nicholas becomes the linchpin of Belgian show jumper breeding.
Everyone is looking once in his life to have a horse like him. And we've been so grateful to have him. He was more than a horse of a lifetime for us. I think he owned him everything.
What we have today is mainly because of him. Even now, after so many years, you only see how big he was, and still is.
But in addition to his status as a family member, Nabab also had a decisive influence to the development of the farm, as he created the means to break new ground in order to continually improve the breeding.
That's why we started with frozen semen from stallions from all over the world. Then later on I said, well, those mares who are competing on good level, they are better than my mares, because my mare I'm breeding because I cannot sell her, because she's lame, because she's too small or too fat, or for all reasons. There are many reasons to promote your mare as a breeding mare, but that's the wrong way. So I said, I'm going to try to produce foals with the mares who are competing. So we started embryo transfer with those good mares. So now slowly we have the result of those tries, and we will see later on, but I'm sure that it will give good horses. And it's a little bit the same with ICSI, where you can use the best ones out of the past with the very best mares, even older mares, even mares who are not so fertile. And I'm not saying that those things have to take over everything, but at least you have to try. And I had a lot of bad results also, and I produced a lot of normal horses, but it's nice to have a few ones. So there is an idea behind. It's not just luck, but maybe we were lucky.
With the Embryo Transfer Center, the OPU and ICSI Center, and the associated online auctions, the Brabander family offers the best chances of breeding a top horse. The Stal de Meuse is increasingly becoming the focus of the Belgium horse scene and brought top-class experts to St. Nicholas, even in Nabab's day.
It was Leon Melchior himself. My father was really excited, so he put on his best shirt, and they go by the stallions. And always when he came to the stable of Nabab, he always gave him like a big hug, because it was his teddy bear. Later on he came back in the house, in the kitchen, and said like, yeah, I'm full in the hair, I messed up my shirt, but I don't mind, it's the horse of my life. And I will feel very comfortable being in his hair all day long. That's something that I remember as a kid.
Last but not least, his offspring also drew attention to Nabab de Rêve. Today, he is a modern proven sire of top show jumpers and foundation sires such as Vigo d'Arcy. The former world champion of Kentucky in 2010 was surpassed with the sporting successes of his famous sire, again with Philippe de June in the saddle.
I think Vigo in production is a little bit the victim of the success of Nabab. He did a lot of publicity in breeding for his father. So when Vigo became popular, suddenly Nabab was used a lot more. Vigo a little bit less. Why? He was very often with a rider. At that time we sent the horse to Philippe Lejeune again, and while he was competing we couldn't use him. We made some frozen semen, but breeders didn't like that so much. But good, he was an amazing horse. He is our world champion. We had that in 2010. Suddenly Vigo became world champion. Sure, we will never have this appear on this chance again, but we have it. We try to be happy with this. Yeah.
Also, Vigo's sire qualities are beyond doubt. He has been continuously at the top of the WBFSH sire ranking for several years. He owes this to the achievements of Vigo de Meuse, Vino Z, Fairlight van Heikem, Irenich Horta, Ego van Orti, Go Easy de Meuse, Volker van den Bishop, Hermes van de Frombertschöve, Kitona de Meuse, Guardiola M, Holder G, and countless other international show jumpers. All over the world, sons of Vigo have also been approved for breeding.
Now in production, Vigo is it's a little bit different. They are also very scopy. The movements are a little bit better than Nabab. A little bit different, but it's the same. On the big championships, they are there. Huh?
The next generation caused a sensation, so did Kashmir van Schutterhof, born in 1998, should also continue Nabab de Rêve's legacy and continue to shine in the spotlight for the Brabander.
You always want to see the next generation, and The mother of Kashmir was a rather interesting mare. She was by Terre Normandier, who was doing very good in sport, and the mother line was like Furioso 2 Gotthard, Furioso 2 Gotthard, something like this. So I had this mare in my mind, and then she came back the year later to recover her by Nabab. So I saw him as a stallion foal, and I bought him half. So Kashmir was half my stallion all his life, and as he was one of the first of Nabab, we put a lot of energy in that stallion. So he did sport, also in breeding, and it was also a success story. Yeah? It's like all the time again, the first foals of a stallion that you like, you really want to see them, you will see the first jumps. And it's very strange, but while you are observing the offspring, you can find out the qualities of a stallion. Also the bad things. Sometimes you discover a thing that you never mentioned with the stallion. But it's a little bit the same with children. When you see a bad thing, you say, the mother, surely this comes not from the mother, then you say that this bad thing comes from you. But in horses it's the same, you learn about the family. So with Nabab I didn't mention. When you're jumping good and they're jumping high level, everything seems normal, but that's not so normal. When you see this offspring jumping, they never stop, they are always willing to do something. Then you say, yes, it's okay, it's normal, it comes from his father. And then you try to reuse them, and then you try to correct some bad things in some mares. When people have stressed mares who are very scared from the jumps, but they have other qualities, you try to cross it. Like stallions like Heartbreaker, who are very, very careful, very willy, but they don't have the scope. If you cross them with stallions like Nabab, then you can have the really good horse.
Joris de Brabander focuses primarily at the good dams, driven by the idea of pairing only the best mares with the best stallions by embryo transfer. He breeds Glocks London Successful with Gerko Schröder at 160 meters out of a Chin Goliath dam.
I produced it myself with Tabel van Sonbeek, who was an amazing mare. Not the last scope, but the cross with Nabab gave London an amazing horse. Why I missed him a little bit. He was very beautiful. I sold him half as a foal. That plays also a little bit. But at that time, we still inseminated with frozen semen from Kidam. I had 3 sons of Kidam, Ohio van de Paardenborg, I had Nabab and Upshiki, 3 amazing stallions. And I had already 2 grandsons, Kashmir van Schuttershof and Vigo. And suddenly, London was there. A good jumper. He was not approved the first year that we presented him to the stud book, so all those things play. And he was good, and we could sell him very expensive. So when he was 5, we sold him for good money. But he was maybe the best of all.
Goliath. Topfokkerij van Joris de Brabander, deze in Londen, geboren als Caromar de Muus. En natuurlijk.
He was very beautiful, easy to ride, but we missed him. And the stallion himself, he missed a career also. As of 3, 4, 5 years, we didn't use him as a stallion. Then later on, he was only available with frozen semen, so the breeders didn't use him. And then he just was free for everybody when he was 14, 13, 14. That makes that he has a very few offspring. And he never became, in breeding, the superstar, but in sport he was unbelievable. So there we lived as a breeder. He was second at the Olympics in London. I was there, I was a breeder, so it was very, very nice too.
Weinig hout geraakt. De zoon van Nabab de Rêve, die nu ook op een fenomenale manier foutloos springt.
It makes you proud, but not in the way that I try to be normal, because the good things is the success, and then the failure or the bad things are so close. So I'm not so disappointed when it's not going well, but I try to be humble when it goes well. We try, but in the inside we are very proud for that, because I think you need a lot of luck, but there is an idea behind. We try to cross good mares with good stallions by using embryo transfer. Now again with the ICSI story, it's the same, it's a step further, but there are some possibilities to do the breeding better. I don't say that everybody has to do that, but it gives some possibilities. So I believe in that.
Der Weltranglistenführende.
Youngster Brabander was not so lucky when he decided not to buy Hello Sanctus out of a Nabab. Hello Sanctus will go down in history as one of her sports greats and remains the only horse to have won the Rolex Grand Slam to date. In addition to numerous successes, he also secured an Olympic gold medal for Great Britain in 2012.
The real championship horse is inside this Hello Sanctus that comes from Nabab, and then maybe a little bit the quality of Heartbreaker. His father was Quasimodo van de Rêve. It was also my stallion. It was also one of my big mistakes that I made in my life. I sold a few. I can say it for the camera. I sold like Emerald, London, Quasimodo van de Rêve, Levis, de Muse, all those stallions we sold for good money because we knew that they were good horses, but maybe we had to keep them. But good, we are also limited by place and time. So when you produce, it's also like your children. At one moment you have to let them free. Sometimes they have to live another life. And sometimes it's better, but good. I missed also Hello Sanctus. I remember he was born at Willy Taats's place, very small breeder, motivated guy, and he came to cover the mare with the stallion foal. Was nice looking, but the movements were very normal. So I said to the guy, "You walk and trot." Yes. How much you ask? He asked 100,000 Belgian francs. That's 2,500 euros. It's nothing now. And it was not so expensive at that moment, but I didn't buy him. And then 3 weeks later, he came back with the mare to check if she was pregnant. I said, "Yeah, you have a nice foal, show it again." And he said, "He has very normal movements. As a stallion, it will be difficult." So I didn't buy him, and it became an amazing horse.
Number 1, Nummer 1, Scott Brash und Hello Sanctus.
Nabab de Rêve, a sire who caused an international sensation. Naturally, the Brabander family also came to the point where they had to think about a possible sale of Nabab de Rêve.
There was only one moment in his life that we could sell him very expensive. Then he was 8, and it was a Portuguese guy who had a sponsor and who tried him. And already when they were trying that horse, my heart was bleeding. So I said to the guy, "You take the decision this evening. If you don't take him, no problem, we don't sell him." And I came home and I said, from this moment, if we don't take him, he is part of the family and we will never sell him. And weeks later, 3 or 4 weeks later, he won a Grand Prix, National Grand Prix. And that moment, this guy came back on the business and said, "I think I'm going to buy him." I said, "No," I said, "you this evening or not," and we never sold him. So.
Since then, the Brabander family has always had stallions that are not for sale, because then they belong to the family.
That means that they gave us a lot. They gave us a lot by their character, by the breeding, also in money, because like Nabab, we didn't sell him when he was 8. It was for a lot of money, but he covered his last mare when he was 25. So he was approved as a 3-year-old till it's 25. It's a career of 23, 24 years, covering every year, making money, more than a normal horse. So that's also important, because at the end, it's our business, so we have to make money. But we don't sell them like you don't sell your dog or your cat or your children.
The family lives its successes humble and down to earth, and regardless of the monetary value of the individual animal, the horses are allowed to enjoy the large pastures of a stud farm.
At least we try to keep our horses as normal horses. You have to keep them inside when you have to prepare them for shows and things, but we try to have them outside as much as possible. And at the end of his life, Nabab even stayed outside day and night. I had one prairie, all the farmers around, he said he is a bad farmer because there are, how do you call it, like these bad grasses in the field, and even in the winter he stayed outside without blankets, like a normal horse. We kept him like a normal horse, but he was happy, yeah. And he covered till he was 25, so just at the end we saw that when we took semen that he was suffering a little bit. And so then one day we decided to stop.
Nabab de Rêve dies of natural causes on October 30, 2015, at the age of 26.
He died on my birthday. I know my mother took very good care of him when he was old. She did a lot for him. He always was a nice horse, always. Yeah.
I was at the stallion show in Holstein, and it was at the end of October, one of the last days of October, and I got a phone call, but I knew that he was in a very bad shape. But when we put him in, he already few last weeks he started to sweat. He was not comfortable, so he stayed out day and night, and we found him outside in the morning.
Yeah, one morning he passed away. Yeah, it's one image I won't forget, when he was laying down in the field, very calm. But yeah, he had his life. Yeah. But it's also something I try to learn now. You can be as Nabab for the breeding, for the sport. Maybe one of the biggest stallions there have been. And at the end, yeah, he's laying in the field on a quiet morning.
It's nature, it's not, it was a nice, it's the end of a nice story, so you don't have to cry for that. It's like it ends. You know that it will happen one day, and this story will happen again with other horses. It's part of life.
So, yeah, it's a bit circle of life. You can try to touch the sky. Maybe Nabab touched the sky already, and then he passes away like every normal or every other horse.
Nabab de Rêve, himself a star on the short jumping circuit and a proven sire in short jumping. With his exceptional interior, he became a member of the Brabander family and has left his big footprints in horse breeding as well as in the Demuse stable, where many new stallions shine, but they all have to bow to the gratitude and humility of Nabab de Rêve, because this stallion has made the Stall Demuse what it is today.
If I just let it slip away, so I guess I'll try.